everyone, this is Via from Via Creates and welcome to my December bullet journal with me video. I started making these videos at the beginning of this year, so it's crazy to me that we're already here and this is my last one for 2021. I've really developed my style a lot this year and gone out of my comfort zone in a lot of ways. With this spread, I especially tried a lot of new things since this is my first almost completely watercolor spread. I'm not sure quite how to explain the scene that I'm painting today, but it's basically a mirrored winter wonderland. So there's going to be two sides where there are frozen ponds and different forests around them, and one's going to be hanging from the top of the page and the other one's going to be coming up from the bottom of the page. That's why I'm starting here with this muted blue color, and I'm just painting in the general shape of how I want the pond to look, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom of the page, trying to keep them as similar in size as possible. Next, I'm using just a series of different colors of green to paint the trees around the edges of the ponds. I'm actually starting with painting the top of the page, so I flipped my bullet journal over to paint upright because I do not trust myself to try to paint everything upside down. At the top of the page, I'm also painting a little blue cabin amidst the trees. I used a blue that was in the same color range as the pond because I wanted the cabin to feel like it was a part of this nature scene instead of sticking out. To paint the snow on the roof, I drew a little bit of a scalloped line across the top of the roof in a very watered down version of the same blue, and then kind of feathered that out a little bit so you could tell that it was snow, but I didn't want to draw a defined line around a white shape because it wouldn't fit the style of what I'm going for here. I wasn't sure if this would work at first, but I did use a gold watercolor to add glowing candlelight and stars to the tops of the trees, and I wasn't sure if it would be vibrant enough to stand out, but I think it really worked, especially since later on I do add some gold gel pen to help accentuate the highlight of it. Now that the top is done, I'm flipping my journal over again to start on the bottom part, in which I'm going to do something very similar, but I'm also going to paint deer in the pond. Like with the cabin, I painted the deer in a very similar color blue as the pond because I wanted them to fit in with the scene, and I felt that if I painted them in brown or a similar warm color, it wouldn't fit quite as well with the palette that I already had put on the paper. main portion of the watercolor was then done, and I had torn out some pieces of paper bag to accentuate the spread. I placed them near where I'd be writing the title and the date, as well as on the side, like as if it was washi tape. I wrote the title in a simple serif font on this beautiful forest green craft paper with my white gel pen. Since the background was so detailed and also in more faded muted colors, I wanted this to stand out but not distract from the rest of the spread. I grew up in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, and so to me December is always a very blue and green type of month. Christmas was always a season full of beautiful evergreen trees, but also lots of rain and fog. And so I think that really inspired a lot of the colors within this spread. There would be these beautiful kind of muted blues and greens that would be really contrasted by all the bright red and white decorations that people would put up. It's definitely one of my favorite times of year growing up, and even though I'm not there anymore, I do like to remember it. And now every December when I think of Christmas, I will still think back on what it looked like when I was a kid. After I glued on the title, I took a very similar dark green color of marker and I wrote in the year in the bottom right hand corner, overlapping with the brown paper bag that I had placed earlier. Now I began to really add detail to the spread, beginning with using a navy blue fine-tipped pen to draw in the features of the deer. I also added some highlights with my white gel pen to the numbers and to other parts of the spread. To carry on the little pops of red that I added to the cabin, I used just a simple red gel pen to draw little ornaments on the trees. In order to make this theme more cohesive with the other spreads that I've done in the series, I also extended swirling vines from the sides of the page throughout the middle and extending from the deer to give that kind of wild, magical vibe that I have been expressing throughout the previous few months. Lastly, I added some berries with a red pen and colored in some of the leaves with a blue mild liner. Here is what the spread looks like when it's all finished. I really tried to encapsulate what winter looked like and felt like, and I feel like I did a pretty good job with that. When I look at this, I really do see just what it feels like to be in December and just kind of a beautiful winter scene that I wish I could live in. I hope that this video was enjoyable and helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a very happy holidays and a wonderful winter.